places around the country. So to get things started, instead of starting out the presentation, I'm just going to show you a couple of things that we can do today with mobile applications that you might be able to use. So let me get this on, see if you can see my phone. All right, so you should be able to see my phone. I've got a few of those business apps that I use just for things that I do on my phone, and these are not buyers or consumer apps. These are business apps, and these are fairly simple to use. Maybe some of you have seen them. This first one here is a business card reader. So you get a business card from somebody new, you just line that up here on top of it. It catches it, and so you start adding in the person's information. This is from Abby. Oh, got a voicemail. Good. I can keep up with what I'm doing. So this is a good way to do business cards. And again, this is an easy app that you can download, I think, for a few dollars and use yourself. Okay? So this is one example of how mobile technology affects our world. We'll take another one here. So let's see, you get that business receipt. So there's a business receipt reader. Okay. So I got a new business receipt. I press capture. I hold my phone on it. It catches it. I use this photo. Whoops, I'm going to redo that. Now, this is not a very good demo when you can't do it right. Let's try one more time. There we go. So we use that photo. It's done. Now what it's going to do is it's actually going to look at the photo and start to extract some data from it. So just a way to catch, instead of just being able to capture a picture of something, we're actually going to be able to read the information off of it. I click verify. It's going to show me what it read, and it's going to say, yep, that's a Speedway receipt. This is the date. This is the amount, and then when I'm done, let's do that. When I'm done, I can send this to email. I'll send that over to my email. As you can see, it pops up right there, and I can capture all my business receipts or anything that I get like that. There's the image along with the data that it's read. So this could be uploaded to my email account. This could be uploaded to our expense account reporting system as well. So again, this is easy to use, easy to find types of mobile products that maybe you've seen, maybe you haven't. And then the third one that I use a lot, and this is, get out of this one. This is called Find Reader from Abby, and it's just a little program that lets me take pictures of documents and send them to myself as emails, or I could also send these to other people. I use this a lot for like delivery receipts, or if I'm out somewhere and I have an invoice or something I want to get a quick snapshot of, I'll do it. So I'll grab it here, take the picture. So now what I've got is a copy of the image. So this is different than just having a photo of it. This is actually converting this into a PDF or to a TIFF document that I can save and hang on to. So I'll click Save. It comes up here. I can name it. I'll call it Test. And I hit Done. So now I've got that done. I'll hit Recognize. Now I'll just email it to myself. So I click to my email. And then I can send it to myself and pick that up. So this is just a couple, three easy-to-use applications that all of us can have on our phone and start using today to make our lives a little bit simpler, a little bit easier. So let me close out of this and go back over to our presentation. So that was just a way to kind of get started in what we're doing and what we're here to talk about today, some consumer ways that we can use the technology. So let's give a little bit of an overview of kind of what's going on in mobile and kind of, to me, very interesting pieces of information. So last year, $3.3 billion worth of purchases were made on mobile phone apps, which is an enormous amount of product. This is very interesting that over $1 billion were purchased on Black Friday alone. So think about everybody standing at home or standing in line at the department store, and they find that television they want. What's the first thing you do? You get on your phone and you get on the mobile app for everybody, and you start finding the cheapest price you can get. So it's a pretty interesting amount thing there. Walmart said that over 70% of their business on Black Friday was through their mobile apps. So on the consumer world, this mobile thing is obviously huge and continues to grow at a very significant pace. I believe at the end of this year there'll be over 200 million cell phones in the United States alone. So that is really moving at a very steady pace. But when you look at businesses and how they use this technology in their non-customer facing applications, so your back office, what you find is that over 66% of the companies surveyed will tell you that, yeah, we're interested in using mobile technology for our back office processes, but only 22% of them have implemented anything to this point. And of that 22%, only 21% of those companies have actually implemented any kind of capture process for those documents that they're able to get to. And less than 14% of them can actually enter a document into their processes through any kind of mobile or web app. So there's a real difference between what's happening in the consumer marketplace today and what's happening in the business-to-business marketplace today. And it's only going to continue to grow because there's a great opportunity for companies to take this technology and improve what they're doing. So there's some key drivers to use the remote or what we call mobile capture. Early access to information. So how quickly can I get it into our system so I can see it and be aware of it and make business decisions on it? How can I standardize how those documents get into our company, into the process? How do I keep that being done in the same way time after time? And how can I manage my compliance issues that I have with documents coming into our organization? How do I produce any kind of savings on what we're doing? How can I find ways to cut our cost in processing the documents and information coming to us? And the last one is, how can I improve our customer experience? How can we make this part better? So those are some of the key drivers of why you might be looking at mobile technology and why businesses are looking at that for their back office and their operational processes. So we'll first start out with, why we would do this. And one of the first reasons is that streamlining the processes. And let's standardize how we bring the documents in. So if you're like most organizations, you have documents that are coming into you in a multitude of ways. You're still probably receiving mail and paper documents in. You may be receiving mail and paper documents into regional offices or into sales offices or work sites. You may be getting emails. You may be getting documents that someone else has already scanned. You may be getting faxes. There's any number of ways their documents are coming into your organization, and that's a problem for many of the companies that we talk with. So one of the reasons you might look at mobile is to be able to standardize how those documents get into the process and start through the process. You want to be able to integrate mobile into your existing workflows, so that means get those documents, however form they come to you, then quickly get them into the process. And the other thing you want to try to do is eliminate as much manual data entry as you possibly can. There's still an enormous amount of that taking place in businesses today where the documents come into you, and you may not be scanning them today like you were 5 or 10 years ago. But as the documents come to you already scanned in a PDF form, it's still just an image of that document, and there's still data that needs to be taken from it. So we're looking for ways that we can improve the processes, get faster in how we get them through into the system, and how we can eliminate as much data entry as possible. The second area we look at is with our compliance. So as you can imagine, if you're getting documents into your organization in all these different ways, keeping track of who touched them, who put them in the system, who has seen that information can become very difficult. So by capturing the documents early through mobile technology, you're able to track from the inception of the document coming into your organization exactly who has seen it, who has had access to it, so that you have better compliance in what you're doing in protecting people's personal information. Okay. So let's talk about cost management. And I think this first one here is highly important. We hear it from almost everyone we talk to. As organizations receive into the central areas documents, there's always missing information. So, I receive a document here at my office that needs to go into the central, to a, say, accounting department at the central office, and I send that document in. Well, many times I don't provide with it information that's needed, whether that's a GL code that should go with, or a project that's associated with. And so a lot of times accounting people in particular spend a lot of time going back to the source of the document and asking for additional information. That's an enormous waste of time for those individuals that have to do that work, plus it stalls the process of getting that document worked through your systems. So being able to capture these things at first touch point that you receive them, making sure that the right information is included with it because of the way the systems are designed, really eliminates the need for someone to go chasing this information down somewhere else. The other thing is you can reduce your ongoing support costs because this is all centrally administrated. If I want to make a change to any of the documents or how we're capturing them or what metadata we want with them or any of those types of things, that's all done centrally. And so the next time that I use my phone, it's going to have the latest settings that I need to be able to do my work. No more need to go back out and load these applications onto my workstation or run upgrades on all of our systems. This is all being handled from one central server location, which makes it much easier to administer and a lot less expensive to do. And this fourth part, as we were talking about the consumer market and how mobile has become a huge part of it, I think one of the things that many people are becoming quite used to is that if they have a question about their account, they expect an immediate response. So one of the things that implementing this early capture of information provides to you is the ability to get the documents or the process started quicker and completed quicker so that you can get information back to your customers in a more expedient manner. So today's world, we're all used to getting an answer very quickly. And so the quicker we can get this work through our systems, the better off we are. So I think you're going to see ease of use for employees because these are simple tools to use. You're going to be able to speed up that process because you're going to start it right from the first contact with your customer and get it going through the system. And it's going to decrease the amount of time that they have to wait to get a response. So these are going to become more and more important, I think, as time goes forward. People are becoming more and more impatient to have to wait. I think it's going to be very, very important going ahead. Okay. So now I'm going to move over to some additional demos that are really more geared towards businesses. And I'm going to start this back up. There we go. So the next thing I want to show you is, let's see what come up here. I apologize here for a minute. We're having a little bit of trouble with the tool that allows us to show my phone. Let's try that again. This is your opportunity to sing, dance.
I like the blue water on your screen. It's pretty.
Very nice, thank you. That was exactly what I needed because it got it to work here.
There you go.
All right. So you're back seeing my phone. We'll go back in here to our apps. So now we're going to talk about a mobile product that becomes really a focal capture point for any piece of information that comes into your company remotely. So you won't be able to grab it with a mobile phone, or if you were able to have a laptop you're connected to the internet through a web browser, you can do these same types of things. So from my phone, this is a product from Kodak called Info Input, which is a web-based and mobile-based product that allows you to capture information from wherever you may be. I would open that up. I pick the account there, or the document type that I want to scan. And I stand here and get a quick picture. You see I'm processing my image. I have the document there at the top. I can look at it, make sure it looks okay and it's readable. Then I can come up and index. So this is the part here where I can really standardize what information comes with a document as it's being entered into our processes. So by forcing someone to enter a piece of data here or 2 or 3 fields of data here, I know that every document that comes into our process has the image of the document and should have the right additional information needed to complete what we need to do with it. So that's highly important in standardizing how those things get into our system. So I could index it from here and put in an account number, which is fine, and then I could upload it. The other way I can do it is if I don't want to do the indexing from here, I can actually grab the image again. This would be a different way of doing it. Process it through. Now when I come up here and edit, I'm just going to go ahead and send it. Now, you can force it to make me put an index into this, or you can allow this to go through. Again, these are how you set things up. But in this case, we're just going to let it go without it. So I'm going to upload that document. And if I'm out in the field, maybe that's all you want your field folks to do is get the documents into the system, and you want to index them somewhere else. So I'm going to come here to a web-based app that I'm opening up. CD. Log into that. So if I go grab that batch, you can see here just sent in 3717. I can open that document up. There's the document that I just scanned in with my phone. And then I could have someone doing these indexes for me remotely, or I'm sorry, in the central area or wherever they may be. So I'm accomplishing the same thing, whether I'm indexing it from the phone or I'm just passing it on to the server and letting someone index it, from a centralized area. So I could type in the account number, and I would just hit close this batch. This same web browser also allowed me to scan remotely if I had any kind of scanner sitting at my desk, or if I had something of that nature where I wanted to drop documents in that I got from an email or something like that. So here I could start a new batch. Say these are housing applications. I'm going to say create and scan. So in this case, I'm going to go out and look for just a couple pages so you can see what this looks like, and open. So now I've got these documents here. I can then index them and then load them up into the server. So this type of a system gives me multiple ways to get documents into our system, but again, making sure that we're getting all the right information with it, they're being captured in the right way, and getting into the process in a standardized and quick fashion. So this is a product through Kodak that's very good for companies who have a lot of people remotely, or they have a lot of regional offices, or if their offices are split up where you don't have a central scanning area. This works very well for that, to get documents in the system, You don't have to have this software loaded on any workstations at all. It can be ran either through the web like this, or the capture can be completed from mobile devices like your phone or from your tablet. So that's the product from Kodak called Info Input. So let's suspend that batch. Let's get out of here. Okay. So that's the Info Input product from Kodak. Now we're going to talk a little bit about some of the capture. Here we go again with my
You changed your background.
Yeah. Huh. I can change the background, but I can't keep this this working. Okay, so we'll get this going again. Again, I apologize. I'm having this little bit of a problem keeping this this tool working correctly. So let's talk now that I want to be able to capture documents remotely, either with my phone or through a web application. But now I want to take it a step further. So instead of just capturing the document and maybe manually adding some information to them and sending them in, I want to actually capture documents and read the data off of them. So this is from a product from ABBYY called FlexiCapture. And so we'll start it up. I've got a couple of different types of documents that we're going to work on. You can see them here. So I'll hold the camera over top of it. Take the picture, hit next. See how it squares it up. I'll click next. Everything looks good on the image, and I'll send that to the FlexiCapture servers in the cloud. Then we'll go to our next document. Take that picture, make sure it looks good. I can edit it if I need to, and I'll send that one up to the cloud. So now what's happening is this, both of those documents have been sent to the cloud to the ABBYY product, which is doing an OCR, ICR scan of those images, and then it's applying business rules that we've created to read specific pieces of data from each one of them. So let me bring that up.
I don't know if you noticed, if anybody else did, but when Tim was taking that photo, he didn't have to hold his phone very still. And that was great. It just cleared up the writing on that paper. So I just wanted to bring that up.
Yep, thank you, Lydia. So you can see here, I'm on the web. I'm logging into the ABBYY site. Let's see. A minute here to get logged in. Okay, so I'm logging in, and from the web browser, I can do a number of things. I could have scanned documents directly into the system, but I also can just go in and verify information that's already been read. So we're going to do verification. So as I said, the information has been extracted from the document, the exact fields that we've asked it to. Now I'm just going to verify that that information was read correctly. So I'm going to select this one. You see I've got a couple here for verification, and then there's one exception. So we're going to do the verifications here just to show you for a demonstration. So here's the document that we took the picture of. You can see it. And what we've done is we picked up the employer's address, the address. We've got the ID here, the employer ID. We've got the Social Security number. We've got the wage amount, and we've got the federal tax amount. So that all looks good. So that data has all been captured automatically. We've done nothing to do that manually. So I hit complete. And it takes me to get to my, see if I want to go to the next one. And now you're going to see the other document that we picked up. And here we've picked up the Social Security number, address, name, dates, and all that pertinent information, including information from the earnings table, which, again, gives you a lot of ability to capture any types of data that might be on a document. So that's been completed there. So what you've just seen is I've taken pictures of 2 different documents, sent them up to the cloud, and the data that we need from both of those documents has been extracted automatically without me telling it what kind of document or anything about it. So that's the power of the technology today and how it can help businesses capture information much quicker, not only just the document images themselves, but also the data that needs to be extracted from them as well. All right, so we're going to go back and just finish up here, wrap up with a little bit of a presentation, and then we'll open it up for questions. So there's a number of remote mobile capture highlights. We'll just kind of stop at the top left and work where we're at. You can use it wherever you have a phone, a tablet, or a browser. So think about that ability in your workforce to capture information much earlier in the process and eliminate the need for them to, send emails or send faxes or mail documents into a home office or into a central area. Second is you can standardize how those documents enter your organization. So again, making sure that when the document comes into you, it has all the needed information to get it processed quickly and accurately. That's a huge advantage to having systems like this in place. If you're using the web-based systems, you can actually take any document that you have on your computer and start it into the process. So if you've received an email in from someone, you can drag an attachment right into a process. If you have Word documents or other documents that you'd like to get into the system, you can bring those in the same way. And at the same time, if you have a paper scanner with the web browser, you can scan documents directly into the system. Oops, sorry. You're going to be able to save time and money because you're going to be able to administrate this centrally and be able to roll out updates and changes all at once and not have to have this loaded on multiple workstations around your organization. A lot of companies spend an enormous amount of time and money every time there's any kind of upgrade or update by rolling that out to all the PCs and workstations in the company. So you can eliminate that with this system. These things are great because they integrate into your current systems. So no matter what you're using for your ERP or for your policy tracking system or your transportation tracking system, it doesn't matter what systems you're using. These products are very flexible and can be integrated directly into them, so you don't have to change out all of your systems. We're just supplementing what you're doing today by being able to get the documents and that information into them quicker. You can really eliminate the need for a lot of the data entry. We can capture the data directly off the pages, as I showed you with the last demo. We also can do things like reading barcodes. We can do database lookups, so where we can take one piece of data and go look in your existing databases, match that, and bring in additional metadata. So we can incorporate all those things to try to eliminate data entry completely from these processes. We're going to be able to decrease the time it needs to process these requests from your customers. Again, we're going to capture the document much sooner so that we can get started much quicker and be finished faster. So that's the process we're trying to improve. We're going to get the data off these documents into your systems sooner. So for you as managers or your managers' managers or whomever it is, when they look at information in your systems, they get a much better picture of where your company stands. You know, you can take the accounting application and say, gosh, if I had all the invoices I had to pay in my system sooner, I could look at that and have a much better idea of what my cash flow situation is like. How soon do I have, you know, how much do I have to pay this month in invoices and next month? So it helps me understand better where we are in our business. And finally, we can improve that customer experience. You know, satisfy their need to get answers more quickly by getting the documents into the system and processed more quickly. And even if it's not completely processed, by getting them entered into the system quicker, you now have the ability to answer their questions if they happen to call in before you've finished that process. Okay, so that's the end of the prepared part of the presentation. Olivia, do we have any questions?
No questions have come across the board, so we can open up the
okay.
line period.
So Olivia's going to unmute everybody and see if we have any questions.
Okay. All right, we got the phone lines open. If anybody has any questions, we would love to answer those for you.
Tim, this is Mike Weiss.
Yeah.
I'm wondering about a log for when people upload the document. Is there a way to the central location? Is there a way for the people at the central location, in case the document doesn't read all the information as expected, or in case the information on the document isn't clear enough, if you need to go back to the original submitter, is there some sort of log or something that you can find out who sent it in, and so that you can get in contact with them?
Yeah, Mike, absolutely. Because all of these processes require some type of authentication, you log in information. So all of that is tracked and kept. So if you had any of those transactions, you needed to find out who did it, you would just go back to the log and see exactly who submitted it. That makes sense?
Is that available through the entire process? I mean, the next step after, I mean, do you have to have access to the central administration area in order to see that log, or is there a way to get it after it leaves the central administration? In case somebody at a next level or next step has a question.
Yeah, so the data in most, well, in all these systems, the data about the transactions are kept in SQL databases.
Okay.
So you're able to report against any of that information. So yes, you could create queries to go look for specific transactions and where and who touched it and when they touched it and how long it took to do it, and you can find all that within the system.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Are there other questions? Okay. Well, again, thank you all for joining. If you have an interest in one of these products that you saw today and like to get more information about them, or really have a full demonstration of any of them, please reach out to Olivia, and you know, she can help you get that set up. We'll be happy to do one-on-one demo with you just to show you more about the technology and answer any questions that you may have.
I also wanted to mention, feel free to visit our website. I'm continuously updating that, so I'm just trying to get some valuable information out there for you. So feel free to visit that, see if there's anything that might help you out, and absolutely just respond to any of the emails I sent you, and I will get you set up with a personalized demo. Also, I want to mention that this is not just a one-time webinar. We're going to have this as a continual webinar series for mobile technology. Next month, we're going to dig in a little bit deeper. We're going to talk about specific industries. And so I just wanted to let you know, stay tuned. I will be letting everyone know when that stuff, when we have more information and get that rolling. So Anyway, I just want to thank everyone for attending and taking the time out of your busy days this afternoon. And yeah, feel free to contact us if you have any questions. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you.